My name is Ryan Vogelin, and welcome to At Your Service. Today, we will be discussing programs of choice offered within the Advanced Studies and Programs Office. Today, my guest is Dr. Kevin Hamlin, Director of Advanced Studies and Programs for Anne Arundel County Public Schools. Hello, Dr. Hamlin. Can you tell me about your role for Anne Arundel County Public Schools?
Hi, Ryan. I'd be happy to. This is my 19th year in public education. I'm currently the Director of Advanced Studies and Programs, and I work in support of our magnet programs, including Performing in Visual Arts, or PVA, International Baccalaureate, the IB program, and STEM. I also support the Junior Reserve Officers Training Corps, known as JROTC. I've worked in AACPS for the past 17 years as a teacher, high school assistant principal, and senior manager of student data.
Excellent. So it sounds like there's a lot of programs that are come under Advanced Studies and Programs, and I know our audience will be interested in hearing more about that. So can you talk more about your division and why do they call it Advanced Studies?
Certainly. Advanced Studies and Programs, or ASP for short, falls within the Academics and Strategic Initiatives division. That also includes curriculum and instruction, professional growth and development, and other programs. As the name implies, Advanced Studies and Programs is rooted in the development and delivery of powerful teaching that ensures every student has access to academic experiences that are differentiated to their specific ability and need. ASP promotes engaged learning through rigorous instruction, authentic application, and community connections. Our goal is to prepare students to be expert learners in their journey towards college and career readiness. We're dedicated to preparing our students to communicate precisely, work cooperatively, think creatively, and initiate action as they prepare to participate in a global society.
Great, thank you. So I know that two of the programs that you offer, one of the programs is magnet programs, and then also programs of choice. Can you just talk a little bit more about what magnet programs are, or what are programs of choice? If a parent is looking into that for middle school or high school, can you just tell us more about what those are and what they offer to students?
Absolutely. I failed to mention in my last response just kind of what ASP covers. You've mentioned magnet programs, and so did I, as my primary responsibility. But we also work with the advanced learning, gifted and talented students, advanced placement in high school, AVID, co-curricular clubs and activities, the Enhancing Elementary Excellence Program, or EEE, service learning and mentorship, signature programs, and home instruction. But magnet programs in particular are an educational program of choice with a specialized course of study or an emphasis on instruction that's different from the traditional curriculum offered in our high schools. Magnet programs offer a rigorous student-centered environment that gives students the chance to learn with others who are passionate about the same topics, an environment in which students can apply theory and knowledge towards their skill proficiency with hands-on real-world experiences. And it provides an interdisciplinary approach to curriculum that promotes critical thinking and effective communication. Within the programs of choice spectrum, we also, I mentioned before, AVID, JROTC, and at the high school level, our Centers of Applied Technology.
Great. So which programs are offered for middle school? So if I'm a middle school parent, or I'm a parent of a fifth grader or a younger elementary student, I'm looking to a program for middle school. Can you talk about some of the either magnet programs or programs of choice that are offered in middle school and what those entail?
Certainly. We offer a comprehensive listing of programs at both the middle and high school level. With respect to magnet programs, we offer the Performing in Visual Arts program at Brooklyn Park and Bates Middle Schools. We offer the Middle Years program, which is part of the IB program at Annapolis, MacArthur, and Old Mill North Middle Schools. And we offer STEM, Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math at Central, Lyndale, and Old Mill South Middle Schools. Of course, the AVID program is available at all of our middle schools.
Great. And so what if I was, if I had a child going into one of those programs, what might be different as compared to if I wasn't in a magnet program in terms of some of the courses they might take or some of the courses they may miss because they're in a magnet program? What would be the difference?
Well, I guess I'll take it program by program. Our PVA program, there's primes, or really areas of focus, ranging from visual arts to music to dance. And really students, just like any other middle school student, would take their English, science, math, and social studies courses, but then they would take specific elective courses in these PVA areas. And that's really the same with our STEM program. We're part of a comprehensive school program. Students could take classes in the STEM program around gaming and logic, computer science, design thinking. Our middle years program, the MYP program at the middle school level, students have a focus on design, but also kind of a global perspective. So embedded for all students that are attending the MYP schools, they're going to receive that global focus.
Great. So it sounds like the coursework that they would take would meet some of the requirements for encore classes, but they would still take their core language arts, math, social studies, science courses as well. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yes, sir.
Okay. And so can you tell us some about the high school, the programs that are offered for high school, just as you did for middle school?
Absolutely. So we offer PVA at Annapolis and Broadneck. The distinction at the high school level is that Broadneck's program focuses primarily on our music primes, and Annapolis focuses on all the other primes, the visual arts, the dance, the creative writing, etc. We offer both the middle years and diploma programs at Annapolis High School, Meade, and Old Mill High Schools. And then we offer the STEM program at North County and South River, as well as the biomedical allied health program at Glen Burnie High School. And again, just like middle schools, we have the AVID program at all of our comprehensive high schools. And students who are interested in a career and technology program can attend either CAT North or CAT South to pursue the pathways at those schools.
Great, thank you. Can you tell the audience a little bit more about the AVID program and how would a student get involved in AVID? Do you have to apply? Is it, what's the process, and what does AVID do to support students?
Well, I'm a parent of a student currently in AVID, he was at the middle school and now at his high school program. AVID it's an incredible instructional support program. It challenges students to pursue a rigorous program of study aimed at becoming college ready. It focuses on communication and study skills, as well as organizational structures that really benefit students in the academic middle. There are note-taking programs. They have the opportunity to work with their classmates and tutors to target needs that they have in a particular subject area. They learn writing skills. So it's really, it supports all of the work that they're doing in their core classes at the middle school level and in the early years of high school. And then as they progress into the junior and senior years, there's really a focus on supporting students through the college application process and the search for financial support related to college. So I couldn't recommend it more highly. We really have enjoyed the experience with my son. There is an application process. There's an AVID coordinator at every middle and high school that can be a resource for families who are interested in learning more about the program. There potentially could be an interview with the student just to gauge their interest and make sure that they understand the commitment to the program and what the expectations are.
Great. So if you wanted to get your child into an AVID program, the best way would be to contact that individual school for the application process, correct?
Absolutely. And all of the school counselors at the elementary, middle, and high school level are familiar with that as well. So if you don't know who your AVID coordinator is, parents can certainly reach out to their school counselor and they can help guide them through that process as well.
Great. And so if you wanted to apply to one of the other programs, you mentioned one of the programs of choice or a magnet program, whether it's middle and high, what are the requirements? And can you maybe run through that application process for parents who are starting to explore that for the future?
Absolutely. So with respect to magnet programs, middle and high school students must reside in Anne Arundel County. They need to complete the application, and they have to be determined as eligible for a magnet program. Generally, eligibility requires GPA of 2.5 or higher and no grades of D or E in the year of and prior to application. Also, our high school programs for magnets require that students come in with at least one credit of a world language from middle school. All of the eligibility criteria for magnet programs can be found in our magnet brochure, which is published annually. If parents are interested in exploring and learning more about programs of choice, we offer information nights and experiences for prospective magnet students beginning in grade 4. This past year, we held virtual information sessions for interested parents and students, and they were very successful. Obviously, we prefer to have face-to-face sessions where students and parents can, kind of engage in some hands-on learning and finding out about the programs. We're tentatively planning some in-person events, if we're able to, beginning in September. I would strongly encourage parents to talk to the school counselor about programs of choice and your child's potential involvement. Ask your child's teachers about your child's aptitude, interest, and or aspirations to make sure you're making decisions that support their future goals, as well as making sure that they're a good fit for magnet programs when it comes time to apply. The application process begins in September with those information nights that I mentioned. The application portal opens on the second Monday of October and remains open through Tuesday prior to Thanksgiving. And once students submit their applications, their profiles are evaluated for eligibility. And in some cases, as in our PBA program, an audition will be scheduled. And then in January and February, we conduct our lottery, which is done by a third party. And then we send out seat offers right around the middle of February.
Great. So if I have what grade would you recommend that I start looking at this? If it's for middle or high, would it be like 4th grade or 7th grade? What are your recommendations as a parent to start looking into these programs?
Yeah, so as an elementary student, you'll be completing the application in October of your 5th grade year. So it would probably benefit you to reach out to your counselor or attend an information night as early as the 4th grade year, just so you can see all of the options that are available and what the requirements are. Entering middle school, the only eligibility criteria you need to be concerned about is that the grades are above a 2.5, and no D's or E's. So there's really no other requirements beyond that at the elementary level. But I would highly recommend that parents visit our magnet website because there's so much information available there. It's www.aacps.org/magnet. We have our brochure, a timeline, and descriptions of all of the magnet programs, as well as the programs of study for each magnet program.
Great, that's great information. So, you've kind of touched on this, but could you just, if I'm exploring this, why should I explore an option of a magnet school or a program of choice for my child? What are the advantages or the benefits that my child might experience in one of these programs?
That's a great question, and it's one we field all the time. So in addition to what I've said about appealing to students' unique abilities and interests, magnet programs prepare students for future success. We offer students the opportunity to follow and engage with professionals from their fields, whether those are guest artists or engineers from Northrop Grumman or college professors. We focus on career skill development, including making sure you have the resume for a technical career. We prepare you for important skills, including interviewing. And we discuss the professional ethics specific to the field of the program that you're attending. Furthermore, we support student opportunities beyond high school, including college visits. We have job shadowing opportunities. Many of our programs at the high school level especially require internships and field experiences to really help students decide their next steps after graduation. So being able to engage with a community of like-minded and of peers with similar interests, and then having access to all of these career and higher education resources, those are just a sampling of all of the benefits to being a magnet student.
Excellent. Thank you. You provided a wealth of information for parents, guardians, the community in terms of the offerings with your programs in advanced studies, and we appreciate that. So again, I want to thank Dr. Hamlin for providing the audience with this information. And coming up after the break on At Your Service, my co-host Susan Love will be speaking with Corey Perella about the offerings through virtual school and home instruction.
Welcome back to At Your Service, and thank you for joining us today. We are joined by Ms. Corrine Perella. So welcome, Corey. Thanks for participating today on At Your Service. So Ms. Perella, can we ask you, what is your educational background? Can you share a little bit about yourself today?
Hi, thanks so much for welcoming me to the program today. I'm very excited to speak with you. I currently serve as the manager of virtual school and home instruction for Anne Arundel County Public Schools, but I have a really broad background in education. I've served multiple state institutions as well as higher education, and I have also worked as an entrepreneur, working in educational resources and across Maryland and Virginia. My background is elementary education through college administration. So I have really this K through college experience, both professionally as well as academically.
Wow. So let's talk a little about your role for AACPS. And so what is your current role, and what are some of the responsibilities under your division?
Sure. As virtual manager for virtual school and home instruction, working with families who have enrolled, or I should say, who have notified us that they are servicing and supporting their children in home instruction, as well as virtual school. Prior to this, I also served Anne Arundel County as the teacher specialist for co-curricular programs.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited to learn a little bit about all the responsibilities that you have on your plate. And so can we first talk about home instruction? Mm-hmm. So can you explain to the viewing audience, what is home instruction? And, can you give us some specifics about participation in home instruction? And
Sure.
What does that look like in Anne Arundel County?
Yeah, absolutely. So traditional home instruction overseen by this office involves withdrawing your child or your student from Anne Arundel County Public Schools and taking over their education. The parent becomes the child's learning guardian and is responsible for selecting, acquiring, and delivering curriculum and materials of instruction. Families who choose to formally homeschool must follow the COMAR regulations, Code of Maryland Regulations, for home instruction. Information about formal or traditional home instruction and COMAR can be found on our website, but it's important to know that students who are home instructed are not earning grades, credits, promotions, or a diploma.
So typically, what is the number of students and families that are participating? Do you have a ballpark of the number of families that are participating in home instruction in Anne Arundel County?
We've had as few as 2,500 families and students participating in home instruction to expand to as many as 5,000 students who participate in home instruction. And this year, 2020-21, we are at that peak. We're at the highest of having 5,000 families.
Well, that's quite a few.
5,000 students, I should say, to clarify.
Students and families.
Mm-hmm.
And, you talked a little bit about COMAR and the Maryland state regulations. And so, when students and families participate in home instruction, we still, as Anne Arundel County Public Schools, track who those students are to make sure that their families are following a particular curriculum, or is there freedom to choose what curriculum they want to follow?
The curriculum is a choice of the family. We do not provide or determine what that curriculum is. That's independently selected. Again, we encourage our families to be sure they're aware of what those COMAR guidelines and recommendations are. But just a little bit about that specific is that families first, in order to participate in home instruction, they must withdraw from a school, they must complete a notification form to enroll in home instruction. And that's to notify us at Anne Arundel County Public Schools that they are intending to participate in home instruction. They choose to be supervised either by Anne Arundel County Public Schools or by an MSDE approved non-public entity, often referred to as an umbrella group. So there is supervision either from this non-public entity or Anne Arundel County. If families choose to be supervised by AACPS, they're required to meet twice a year with a home instruction reviewer, and that is to determine whether the student is compliant and receiving regular and thorough home instruction.
That's very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And with the number of students participating, that's quite a large number of families that, that manage their child's education. So that's just another a route families do take for Anne Arundel County. And it's not just us. It sounds like it's through the entire state.
Yes, absolutely. So every county manages the services and support to the families who elect to enroll in home instruction differently. We have quite a large support staff and resource group that supports the compliance checks and looking at those portfolio reviews, which occurs more than once a year.
So we talked a little bit about home instruction. What are some other items that come through your office?
Sure. Well, some of the things that come through the office would be GEDs. So the Office of Home Instruction provides verification for students who wish to take the GED and earn a GED diploma by passing 4 exams. In addition, we also provide verification for students who are enrolled in home instruction and wish to take courses through Anne Arundel Community College. These students are actually entitled to enroll in classes with a tuition reduction of 50%. So those are just a couple of the things that all fall within the home instruction office maintenance and support.
So that's nice to know that families that are participating in their home instruction can also, have access to their early college access program at Anne Arundel Community College, because that is such a value. Do they also, is it possible that they also could achieve dual credit if they decide to take courses and come back into?
Well, as a home instruction family, you aren't earning credit at the high school level with us, so you are would not be considered the same dual credit model, but they do have the opportunity to enroll in classes with Anne Arundel Community College.
That makes sense. That definitely makes sense, since they're not earning a diploma. Mm-hmm. And so they would just complete out and then go to the community college and then start college once they finish grade 12. What does that look like?
Well, in home instruction, your content and curriculum is not the standard 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade. You can elect to participate and engage in the content of your choosing, but you are required through COMAR to maintain your enrollment through the age of 18 or until you complete that and take your GED.
Gotcha. Well, thank you for sharing that. Something I just learned, but it was wonderful. So another responsibility that you have are co-curriculars. Mm-hmm. Could you explain to the participants today, the viewing audience, what are co-curriculars?
Mm-hmm. Sure. Absolutely. So prior to serving as the manager for home instruction, virtual school and home instruction, that is, I served the county as the teacher specialist for co-curricular programs. And co-curricular programs is this beyond school hours programming time that students of any grade, elementary, middle, and high school, have the opportunity to engage with their peers, work with their teachers, and participate in clubs, competitions, or even adjunct experiences. Even given the virtual nature of our programming this year, students have had a chance to participate in virtual co-curriculars and e-co-curricular experiences throughout the entire year. So it's been an exciting opportunity for students.
So can you talk to me a little bit? What do they look like? If I was a parent viewing this program, what are some things my elementary or middle or high school students participate in?
We offer programming in really 2 focus areas. We have STEM programming, and then we have programming in arts and humanities. And they would offer opportunities at the high school, middle school, and elementary school that the schools do elect. They are not offering all of the programs, but families and schools select together what kinds of programs and clubs they'd like to offer. Examples would be CPERCH or MESA. Those are some of our flagships at engineering programs that are competition-based. Students participate in those all year long and end in a tournament, an expo, or a competition. And we partner with community groups such as the National Electronics Museum for our CPERCH programs, the Naval Academy, or Johns Hopkins Applied Physics Lab through our MESA program. We also have programs such as Future Makers, which is a STEM program for our elementary students, and they engage in 4 sessions of engineering activities at home. We did that virtually this year. Our arts and humanities programs are competition-based or adjunct basis, partnering with curriculum offices such as the Social Studies Office. When we have our Model UN or our mock trial programs, or even our stock market game programs, which has this great alignment with our financial curriculum and financial literacy curriculum at the middle school level. So there's many, many options for our families and for our students. Really, it's about student interest and student choice. And my goal and responsibility is to provide access to as many students for as many different programs that they would like to be able to participate in. And that really is all grounded in the awesome work of our educators and our teachers who are willing to host these programs. So they work with me in professional development and gathering the materials and resources, and then they're able to provide those programs to students.
Well, and it's interesting. It sounds like there's just a plethora of opportunities for passion and engagement for students.
Absolutely.
And so I think that's, to dive deeper into special interests is, it keeps kids just wanting to learn more. I think that's really our major goals of education. You did talk a little bit about competition. I heard in like the robotics competition. But what kinds of you said there are different kinds of co-curriculars. Could you briefly describe the 3 different types of co-curriculars that are offered?
So our co-curricular programs and offerings are in 3 areas. One would be clubs. Those are meeting times that occur after school. They may result or end in a tournament or a competition, but those are clubs that students meet. And they could be any number of robotics experiences, such as a VEX program. And VEX now is elementary, middle, and high school, or MESA or CPERCH. We have adjunct experiences, such as partnering or going to programs at the Chesapeake Arts Center. They've been an incredible partner with us, bringing students to their location for engagement in arts, any number of arts experiences there. Also, St. John's College, we've had students who attend and attend Socratic seminars that it's part of our high school program and experiences. And then our competitions, our tournaments, which typically are resulting from learning and engagement in a co-curricular throughout the year. And they would attend some kind of a tournament or a competition.
Wow. So if parents are interested and there's something that you've mentioned about a particular club that maybe they think their student might be interested in participating, how would they find out about the availability of co-curriculars?
Yeah, absolutely. I think a great place to start is to email classroom teachers. Also to check the co-curricular website. We have information about our different types of programs. But if they have one of an interest that may not be occurring, it might be that they could recommend or ask about that. So information is typically offered in the fall and parent nights or weekly newsletters that will go home. Those advertisements come from the school, and we encourage families, if they have an interest, to request enrollment in those clubs.
Awesome. And that's just wonderful information. So the nice thing is, they can reach out to the school, but they can also check the website.
Absolutely.
Website. So if they just search co-curriculars, it will come up. Awesome.
Absolutely.
Well, Corey, I just wanted to thank you for, coming today to our show and just teaching the viewing audience all about co-curriculars and home instruction, even how to access the GED program. So I really appreciate it. And so I thank the viewing audience, and just have a wonderful day, and see you next time on At Your Service.